Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm just celebrating here because we just started we actually are on 1,000 subscribers. So thank you all. Okay, let me just stop the music. Too much celebration. Let's just see how many people will be joining us. Kind of like this vibe. Okay, so let me see. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Definitely To Me. For those of you that are new, we welcome you. Let me just also find out if there are people joining me. Please let us know where you're from in the comments section. You know, I had a lot of support from people that are coming from, Indonesia. So shout out to my Indonesian and, people that are obviously my gang. So I appreciate you all. So let's get on with it. The reason why you're here, there, right, or whoever is joining, is that we're talking today about uh, solo travel, especially to my friends that have partners or those that are married. I, for one, are married. So I'm going to begin by saying, I'm married, yes. I travel solo, yes. Am I sorry? No. So that really is the key. And because my partner is so supportive, we've been married for a good 9 years now. We're celebrating our 9th year this year. We actually celebrated this month. Is that the guy is just awesome, right? He supports me all the way. He's an introvert. I sometimes am, but in most cases, he's my supporting person. So, and I appreciate him for that. Next time around, when I do my live shows, I will be inviting him to say a little bit of something to you all. So, I don't know if anybody's joined, but let's just talk about that. And I just wanted to take a step back as to where this comes from. And I think when I was young, my dad was like such a traveler. He would come from India, he'd bring all the saris. He would let guys from Italy call us. And, he was always that guy that travels a lot. Sorry, guys, I forgot to say cheers to us. We are on 1,000 subscribers. Thank you, and thank you. Okay. It's actually Malta. It's not even alcohol, but I thought I'd just make it look so. So anyway, and that really got me curious. Like, he had a lot of people that had different backgrounds in his life that I would meet. So shout out to you, Dad. The second point I want to highlight is, there's a difference when you are, single. And I'll talk in the difference in my life was when I moved from the UK to the US in my 20s versus now when I moved recently, 2 years ago, to the UK with family. And the difference there is that, when you're in your 20s, you're looking at your career, you're looking at, just life on its own. You can live anywhere. There's that sense of, freeness about it, right? The challenges, you're excited, you're young, yay, let's go. So, and I guess that's where I got my bug in the US that, anything is possible. Of course, for those of you that don't know me, I come from South Africa, um, married with one child. But, that was the fun part about that, is that you can move freely. But then when I got married and we moved to the UK, I mean, moving is moving, right? There is that challenge that you'll always have. You worry about the money, you worry about where you're going to be moving. But it's kind of different when you have somebody that you have to account to, not necessarily someone that tells you what to do. And, it's someone that is there for you, that supports your passion, and that I've got in my husband, lucky for me, and he's able to support me. Although, we talk about the commitment part of that. I don't know if those of you that are married, you know that you would want to talk about your safety. Are you safe where you are? Can you communicate when you leave? I always leave. I always talk to him in the morning if I'm in a hotel, or I call him at night and we catch up with my son. And it's always not longer than a week. A week is really stretching it. And of course, there are other commitments that I do while traveling as well. But now that I've started my own YouTube channel, and it is about my passion as well, he's very supportive of that. Responsibly, communication, guys. I think for me, that's the key. So I think those are the main, if you've got those structures in place, and I don't know if anyone is online that has a partner that's just as supportive, or you're kind of doubtful, maybe the best way is to communicate about it. Really, guys, that's what works for me, at least. I don't know if it will work for you, but it's all about that balancing act. So, I must. There's a story I wanted to tell you that sometimes it does get a bit awkward in terms of when you hit issues where you're traveling. You don't want to worry your partner, and I'm one of those that I know my husband worries a bit. So I would rather get myself out of a situation. For example, went to Dubai. We're about to off board, and then the plane was returned back to Manchester at some point. So, there's a way that you just need to let your partner know, like, dude, this is happening. Do not worry, I'm safe. Or there was a time, I think years ago, I used to go in and out Manchester before I moved here full time with the family. I got lost, guys. My phone went dead flat in the middle of nowhere in Manchester. And I remember, because I'm always so curious, and it was around Christmas time, I think. I remember going to, that cathedral, I can't remember the name of it, beautiful. I love going to churches when I visit places, because there's just something spiritual about, and you kind of, it, for some reason for me, going to a church that I don't know at the area, I don't know the people, it just kind of gives you that sense of background. I don't know if any one of you has ever done that. Give me a shout out, like, am I strange? But for me, it was more about, knowing the people. But my phone was dead. Oh, let's get back to that story. My phone died. I was walking around. I always look at landmarks. And mind you, the super thing was that I was going to do, what was it? Oh, a spa. It was a spa day for me. So I thought, when you're sitting in a plane and you're just tired. So I thought, let me just take a walk, because it is beautiful walk in Manchester City. If you happen to be around Manchester City at some point in your life, take a walk. Beautiful buildings. Some of it is modernized, but there is that history. As you know, Manchester was industrial back in the day. So there are those interesting places that still have that je ne sais quoi. So, yeah, I ended up, it took me a good hour or two, guys. So embarrassing. But I can't remember what happened. Yeah, I don't know if you guys, you wouldn't know the hotel, but there's a hotel called, is it First? I can't remember the name of the hotel, one of the hotels that I remember. It was, there was a nail bar around that place. So I just so happened to just follow, and I made sure that, I think it was next to the railway, the tram. So for those of you that haven't been to the UK, the tram is almost like if you were in San Francisco, where you have like rails on the road, and you have like it's almost like a train, but very slow moving than a train in a city. So I remember it was closer to my hotel. I eventually got there, called him, but was exhausted. Of course, he always worries. It's my husband. So, but I try when you do your solo travel, make sure that people know where you are. You always, these are the tips, guys. Always walk around places that you're familiar with. Um, Sorry, that public streets. Don't go into like dodgy corridors. I've done that. There's so many stories I could tell you. Let somebody know when you arrive in your hotel, when you leave. Just they might not do much, but at least if they see that my wife hasn't called me for 2 days, my husband hasn't called me for 2 days, and that's it's not a habit that that person does. So for me, it's all about that. So I was going to run a poll, but I don't know if there are people watching this. Actually, I just thought, let me just do this. And it is a practice for me, guys, hopefully. And I did what time is it now? It's about 15 minutes down the line. I did this as a practice because it was more about my supporters, my subscribers in the places like Indonesia. I've got Pakistan. I can name all of them just to also say I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support. Now, I mean, we've done real talk. We've done unapologetically solo, and the balancing act of talking to your partner. But also, I'm sure a lot of people talk about, so what happened to your kids? I know people were like, but you're married with kids, and here you are as a woman, you want to travel alone. I think for me, like I said, it's most importantly is make sure that there is that support. And I won't lie, it's sometimes difficult here because in South Africa, when we were there, we had someone that lived with us that, had the support, the family. So this is why in the UK, you will see I just travel for a day or two. Like I'll be traveling in next week. But during the holidays, not so much. And then you just stagger it around, and then mix your traveling, between family travel to your own. It's not because you're selfish, but it's also to make sure that the people around you feel also supported. Like, for example, if my husband wants to, like I said, he's an introvert. He's happy for me to be like doing what I do. And I think another part of it is that because I am, I married very old, I would put it that way. I didn't marry at 19, 20. I kind of, we understood each other in terms of where we are in life, with our careers, so I'm blessed. There's the last part, guys, that I wanted to make you laugh because it's such an antidote in our lives. Like, my husband is very Nigerian, very traditional. So, but in this instance, I'm lucky that he's willing to give me, I'll say, a ticket, a pass every now and then to just do my thing, especially with my YouTube channel. Now that he's seeing the numbers are growing, and shout out to Diamond because I've got someone that's really supporting me and helping me and educating me as well. Um, you know, so you'll see I've got a lot of series and stories about traveling solo. The next one will be on site at some hotel. I won't tell you about it. It will be a surprise. So, guys, I think I've done a lot of talking. I don't know if there's anyone online, anyone has a question for me, but for me, it was about before we go into this Christmas season. Let me thank you. Let me share my view on traveling. I have another video coming out about um, during this period, what you need to do, what you need to be aware of. Let me know what you would like to hear from me. Like, I'll open the floor now on Q&A. So if there is anybody out there, is there anyone? I don't know if there's anyone, but that's also okay. I think I've had so much fun with just myself, guys. And that sounds crazy. It is cray. You know, but thank you very much for, if you're watching, if you're listening, there is a recording of this that I will be publishing out there. And yeah, uh, I think that covers my points. Um, I want to wish you all happy holidays, and have fun with family, with friends, there's a lot going on in this world. As you know, I won't go into where we are in terms of, staying in the UK, but we're always grateful of what we have. We have each other, our families, especially our moms are still on this earth. We're not going to be doing December. In South Africa, they say December. And we're not going to certainly be in Niger, which we were hoping to be this year. Oh, Lord. My upcoming videos will be about, future projection of what our plans are. So I'm hoping you'll stay tuned for that, guys. Okay. That's me in a nutshell. Let me see if anybody's watching, listening, whatever. Guys, I'm just learning this thing. Let's see. Let's see. That's maximizing. Anyone has a question? I feel like no questions. All right, guys, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. Tell me if there's anything else that you want to hear from myself. And I appreciate you all. Thank you very, very much. This was great. I think I'm going to do more of these. Okay, guys. I thank you all. Take care. Bye-bye.